Alright, this is the test of the nozzle. Eric, you want to do the honors?
Yep.
Perfect. Alright. That's just water, by the way. It's not methanol. Hey, yo, whoa, dude. You're filling up my intake with water.
We're okay.
Smart boy.
What do you think we're doing right now?
Smart boy. Yeah, the engine's not running though. You're gonna flood it. I'm gonna hydrolock.
No. You need a lot of water to hydrolock.
Yeah, look, there's a puddle down there.
Today in this video, we're going to be showing you how to install a water methanol injection kit for your turbocharged vehicle. This is a stage 1 snow performance water methanol injection kit, and there's a lot of different types of kits out there, but we decided to go with this one because it's simple and it works. You'd be surprised just how easy it is to set this thing up. The reason why this is a good investment is because it keeps temperatures cool and it prevents detonation.
This is a stage 1 kit, so it doesn't require cutting into your wiring harness. What it does is it just has a simple boost switch, and it's either fully on or fully off, depending on what boost level you set this Allen key at.
For example, on my Mazda, we have the adjustment screw set so that when this switch sees 10 psi from the intake manifold, it closes the switch, sends power to the pump, and the pump starts spraying the mixture into your intake right before the throttle body.
We're going to show you guys how to wire that all up and how to set up the relay to control the pump when it gets activated by the boost switch. We're going to show you how to hook up the level sensor, the low level sensor on the tank, and also how to hook up the low level light and the spraying light, which is a green LED somewhere in here. We'll show you all of that. It's relatively simple, and let's just get started. We're going to be installing this kit today on my Jetta 2.0T. This also applies to the Mazda Speed platforms and pretty much any turbocharged car. Once you know how to install this kit, you'll know how to install it on anything. It's a universal kit for universal power. Alright, so we're going to run the feed line from the trunk to the throttle body, meaning we're going to have our pump and our reservoir set up in the trunk just to protect it from the environment. I run this car in winter and it gets pretty cold here in Canada.
If you want to come over here, I'll show you my car. Now my car, the whole setup, the pump, the reservoir, and all the lines is in behind the bumper here. I don't drive the car in the winter time, and when we installed it, we just decided, you know what, it'd be a lot easier just to set it up behind the bumper, but we're gonna make a new video at some point in time of relocating the pump and the reservoir to my trunk as well, because it's just, you know, keeps things clean, keeps the pump safe. Julian's got the battery out right now. There is an access grommet in behind the battery, and we're going to use that to run our power wires and methanol hoses and lines all the way through into the trunk. It's going to come around along the side here. We're going to zip tie it most likely, and then the nozzle is going to be set up right here before the throttle body into that boost hose. There's the access point right there. Seems to be a harness going into there, and there's a rubber grommet, and we just kind of punctured it a bit. We've already got the subwoofer wire and boost gauge line going through that grommet. So we've got access here. We've removed the trim panels by the rocker panels. You can see the subwoofer wire right there. It runs all the way to the front through the access point and runs to the trunk here. So we're going to follow that path when running our meth lines and wires. You can see it comes through the front here as well, and into the access point, which is beneath there.
Okay, so this wire is going through the firewall and goes to the boost switch. The one with the white line on it is coming out of the boost switch, and it's the 12 volts that will be supplied all the way down the car, all the way to the relay in the trunk to turn on the meth kit. This wire here is our 12 volt source, which I'm hooking up to this wire, which goes to the radio's switched power. So the boost switch has a 12 volt switch source going into it, and then coming out, we have this wire going to our relay to supply methanol at boost.
As you can see, we're doing this the correct way. We're actually soldering our wires together because we want to make sure we got good contact, and Julian's a pro at this, so I'll let him take the honor here.
Takes a bit of time to heat up.
Should have gone with a higher quality tool there, bud.
Good old Canadian Tire $20 gas Benzomatic soldering iron.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We decided to use speaker wire because speaker wire comes in a pair to some degree. It's like kind of the two wires are glued together, so it makes it easier for us to run both wires through the access grommet and then just split them off for the wire going into the boost switch and then the wire coming out of the boost switch, and we're already through, right? So it makes it easier.
We also decided not to go with flux because flux makes it too easy to solder.
So this wire is going to the trunk, which is going to go to the relay. So this is going to power the relay. The relay is going to then send power to the pump, and the other side of this wire, this one here, this one is going to be spliced to this blue wire right here, which is connected to the radio. So when he turns the ignition on, power is going to go through the blue wire, through this wire, go to the boost switch, and the boost switch is going to be active. So when it sees a certain amount of boost pressure, it's going to output a power through this wire to the trunk, to the relay, to the pump. So this is the wire Julian's soldering up that's coming out of the radio. It's going to apply power to the boost switch.
Heat up, come on.
So it's the input wire of the boost switch. This wire down here is the output wire of the boost switch. Look at that, he even applied heat shrink, eh? Make sure you put your heat shrink on before you solder the wire. Just, there's a little tip for you. High quality solder, man. Inhale the fumes. No, don't do that. That stuff's poisonous. And being a smart man that he is, he put the heat shrink on already. So now all he's got to do is wait for the solder to dry up, which will be very quickly. And then all he's got to do is slide the heat shrink over it and then heat it up so it shrinks and protects the actual solder joint. Electrical at its finest.
There we go. What we have here is the wire with the white stripe. You can't really see that. I just made that the output of the boost switch because whiteout, it's easy to remember.
White
and that
out.
is going to the trunk, that's going into the relay. And this is our 12 volt switch source, which goes under the hood to the boost switch. It's coming from our radio, and in series with it is another switch. So even if the car's on, I can turn off the methanol kit with this switch.
It's a good thing you set this up for your subwoofer.
Dash came in handy.
You set up a switch with it for a subwoofer.
And it's illuminated so you can kind of see, like when the light's on, your methanol kit's on. And then over here we'll put our low level and spraying lights for the methanol kit.
All right, time to make some drill holes. Wow, I have never seen blue electrical tape. Only Julian would have this. You got green as well. Nah, let's keep it blue here. Because I'm blue, if I was green I would die. If I was green I would die. If I was green I would die. Keep it blue, ladies and gentlemen. There's the speaker wire that we've run. It runs along here, over there, in behind the fuse box, over the edge here, and in through the access grommet. The boost switch is probably gonna sit somewhere in here, and we're gonna hold that in place, possibly with some zip ties. Julian just cut it. We're gonna split it off a little bit, and we're gonna crimp this adapter here.
Boost switch.
So that goes into there, and this wire is gonna get crimped into that thing. Slide the wire into the adapter piece. Make sure it goes in properly. And take your crimpers and squeeze them down.
We don't have crimpers, but I will get something to crimp with.
Do you have crimpers?
No.
If you don't have crimpers, just use what Julian's using. This might work.
A little tighter. I think that's good. All right, where's the other one? Just take, you know, a small portable pair of crimpers.
You just want to make sure this pinches down properly so it makes good contact. Next step now is to cut into your boost source and install the T that's provided with the methanol injection kit.
We're using some zip ties here just to make sure that these don't come out. If you take a look, that's pretty easy there, but here, they're really on there.
Yeah, zip ties will definitely help keep that hose on. Then once you have that in place, you take your hose that's provided, go off of the T and into the boost switch.
Okay, that seems like it's on there.
That's not going nowhere.
Okay, so we got the line hooked up to the switch. The boost hose we were supplied with the kit doesn't exactly fit too well onto the boost switch, but at least we know it's not really gonna come off.
All right, let's see where we're gonna mount it.
We're gonna put this here, like that, and we'll zip tie it to here.
So that is where we temporarily have the boost switch set up. We're just gonna get everything else done, and in the future we can make final adjustments to the positioning of that. So right now, Julian's getting access to behind this plastic piece and this plastic piece because he's gonna mount the LEDs there. One LED is for a low level,
It's a shark tooth
sensor in the tank, and the other LED is to show that the pump is spraying.
So I've pulled out this plastic insert, and we're gonna put both the low level and the spraying light on this, and that'll be our indication right next to our power button.
And now we're just gonna drill some holes that are the right size that fit the LEDs.
Now the reason why I'm picking this is because I've seen other people do it. I'm not the first one to do this with the methanol kit. It just seems like an awesome location on the Volkswagens. Not bad for eyeballing it.
Not bad, see if they fit.
Nice tight fit. There we go. Now we just need the green one.
Green LED, where are you? Where is it? Oh, there it is. The green one. So the amber one is for the low level sensor, and the green one is for the spraying.
Look at that.
Let me be honest with you, my vocab is not very that good, but anyways.
Your vocab's not very that good.
I got issues. So we got 4 wires there in total.
Yep.
Power and ground for each of the LEDs, and it just so happens that we have this. Julian's got this loom of wire, and we can fish it through one time, and it just so happens that it's got 4 wires on it in that loom there, in that bundle, let's say.
So the green and the red will be power and ground for the green spraying LED, and the amber LED, which is kind of like yellow, will be yellow and black. Let's go fishing.
Let's go fishing. Let's fish this wire through.
Okay, ready?
To the rocker panels. And we'll get it down to the center console there, and that should be good for that part of the fucking video. Can I have another beer? Can I have another beer? We're routing this through. Over here. Going through there. Going through there. Coming through here. We're gonna go up into there, and then across to where the LEDs are gonna go. So we managed to fish this wire through from there, around here, and through here. So now all we gotta do is solder the wires. Hopefully I'm speaking English, because I feel like I've been drinking a few, and my English is not that good right now, but hopefully you understand.
It's so hard to solder in a car. I'm used to a lab.
Okay, so Julian's got it all soldered up, all the LEDs soldered up. Got some heat shrink on there and some electrical tape. Now he's just gonna do one final taping, keep everything bundled up together nice and clean, and then he's gonna stuff that in underneath there.
Oh, it's disgusting, man. So we're done here.
Quite nice.
It's important to note, you don't need a switch. The boost switch itself is what allows the meth kit to activate or deactivate. You just need 12 volt switched power. So you don't need the switch here. You could actually just have any switched source control that boost switch,
So
even like a cigarette lighter or something.
So basically, to control the boost switch, what you need is a power source with the ignition on.
You need ignition, you need 12 volt switched power for the boost switch.
So what you've done with the switch here is splice in series with that switched power, so even if the car's running, you can choose whether you want the meth kit on or off.
Exactly. I can disable the boost switch, which in turn disables the meth pump.
Beauty.
We got everything back together. This is how it's gonna look.
Okay, so now we're just running the nylon tubing from the trunk down to the hood along the same path. Got the red nylon tubing right there. There it is. Runs along the same path. Right here. Up into there. Through the access point. Through here. Around here. And right there.
We're using E6000 sealant.
And I've got some on the threads here. And here's the check valve that was supplied with the kit. We're just gonna thread the smallest nozzle into the adapter here. This is gonna prevent leaks. So Julian's just gonna put the battery in right now so we can get that out of the way because we've got everything run through that access point. We don't need to have it exposed anymore. Okay, we got the battery in now. Meth line. Now we gotta drill a hole through the boost tube of the correct diameter so we can install the nozzle. This is the boost tube. We've drilled the hole here. We're gonna take our nozzle, put a washer on this side, and stick this through, put a washer on the inside here, and then use this nut, this brass nut, to secure it down. Okay, so here is the check valve that came with the kit. We have the nozzle installed there. This is the boost tube. We drilled a hole through this. We bought a brass nut from Home Depot, cut it in half so it's the proper size. And if you look in there, we've got a washer there and a nut. And on this side, we've got a washer. So it's making a good seal. All right, so we have it installed on the car now. There is the nozzle there going into the boost pipe. The majority of the work under the hood is now complete. Everything's running to the back now. We got our boost switch right there. All the wires are also running to the back, and our boost source is teed off right here, going into the boost switch. So now the majority of the work is going to be in the trunk. Next thing to do is get deep inside your trunk and start removing trim pads. It's for a nice clean install.
So we have everything mocked up. We use the self-tapping screws from the kit. I'm actually going to replace all of these with proper nuts and bolts. This is the little cubby that comes in the trunk of the Jettas. We have our pump and our reservoir. Reservoir is higher than the pump, which allows gravity to feed it. There's the flow lines. The water methanol will come out through here. We cut a little notch here, and that will go up to the front and into the throttle body.
It's kind of cool how we were able to integrate the whole bracket to hold all this stuff using the existing cubby piece there.
We even have a space over here for the relay, so all of our wiring can actually be tucked in here.
So it's going to be tucked in. So that plastic piece slides right into this corner here. It literally slides into those grooves there, and it's just going to sit in there and just comfortably have a good time.
Okay, I had to move the reservoir up a bit just because the nylon tubing is kind of stiff and it doesn't make a nice bend to here, so moving the reservoir up gave us a little more of a radius for the tubing.
This the low level sensor right here. This means low.
And
that means full. So
this float, when it comes down, low.
And it will trigger the LED in the cabin there next to the shift there. And we're gonna drill a hole into the reservoir.
Right around there, 3/4. When it's at a quarter full, that's low. You can put it wherever you want. You can make it like up here if you want, but then your light's gonna be on a lot.
We got a pilot hole right now, and we'll go up in bits and sizes. Merry-go-round. Okay, we got the low level sensor installed right here. It's ready to get wired up. So we got Julian the magician in here doing some soldering because, you know, we're trying to make this clean. It's gonna be good. We're gonna have cooler boost air temperatures, knock suppression. It's gonna be good. You're gonna get less timing pull from that stage 2 tune you currently have.
Okay, so we got a relay here, and one of these inputs on the relay has 2 wires. One of those wires will go to the positive of our pump. The other will go to our injection LED. The reason for this is that the LED, the green LED, is wired in parallel with the pump. So if there's no power on this line, meaning the pump is not on, the LED will not be on. This LED is only on if the pump is on. This doesn't indicate pump failure though. If the pump fails and there's still 12 volts, like it seizes up, this injection LED will still be on, which is why it's still a good idea to put in fail safes, which we aren't doing today because we're not tuning for it.
So this red wire that Julian's holding in his hand is directly connected to the battery under the hood. This is the subwoofer wire that when he had a subwoofer, this was the wire that he used. So it's a pretty big gauge.
It's even worse than I thought.
Or a low gauge rather. So he's gonna use this as a power source to directly power up the pump through the relay. It does come with a 20 amp fuse. We're gonna use the fuse in series with this big wire here. So if the pump does draw too much current, that this wire can definitely deliver, the fuse will blow and we won't have any fires. Because we can't afford real crimpers. So we're just using vice grips of weird shapes and sizes. So this is the 20 amp fuse I was talking about. This is gonna get connected to the big wire coming directly off the battery.
Is we're gonna crimp this onto there, even though it's not.
No, you don't need to crimp that onto there, do you?
No, you don't have to, but I'm gonna give it a squeeze.
Okay.
There we go.
Give it a little squeeze.
There we go. That's on there now. Now we just have to tuck everything in and turn the key.
Here's our nozzle, hooked up right there.
We're gonna take the throttle body pipe off so that we can see the spray pattern to make sure that the nozzle's not clogged and it's spraying nicely. Once that's confirmed, we can go ahead and do a driving test, and that'll allow us to see when the boost is kicking in.
And then we can make adjustments to the boost switch adjustment screw.
That's right, sorry. We're gonna see when the methanol kit is kicking in, at what boost level, and then we'll adjust the screw accordingly. I'm looking for 10 psi as the activation pressure. So no methanol until 10 psi, and then full methanol. Smallest nozzle, I don't want to bog the engine, it's just a 4-cylinder.
Just little 2.0 T's. Yeah, it's tight.
Perfect. All right. That's just water, by the way. It's not methanol. you want to take a look at that? It looks like 50% to me.
We gotta tuck that in afterwards. We're in the car right now. As you can see by that switch there, he's got the meth kit turned on. And we're gonna go test it out. There is a boost gauge right there, but there is no back lamp illumination on it currently because the light bulb is burnt out. So we're just gonna have to shine our little lights on there and kind of see when it kicks on. So it's just trial and error, because I remember with my car, it kicked on at like 6 PSI and I felt a bit of a bog. So I changed it to kick on at like 10 PSI now, so. The Jetta's alive!
It's always better in the Jetta.
Das Auto.
Feels good.
Meth kit's kicking on. Just give him a little spool, come on. I can't wait to have a coffee.
Let's do this, man.
A coffee?
Get into
You want some coffee?
I'll get into sack into gear.
So, just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, this is a Eurodyne Stage 2 tuned Jetta 2.0T TSI. It's got a downpipe and an intake, forged diverter valve, Stage 2 tune.
Stage 2 clutch.
Stage 2 clutch from South Bend, daily driven clutch.
It's got a boost gauge with no light on it.
It's got a boost gauge with no LED backlighting.
It's got a cool little illuminated switch to turn on the methanol injection kit. Oh yeah, and it's got methanol injection.
Now it's got
Not
methanol
tuned for it.
injection.
It's just keeping the boost air temps down. Engine feels healthy, man.
Oh yeah, it feels fast. Definitely.
So I'm gonna try to floor it now. That was 25% throttle.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was only 5% throttle, ladies and gentlemen.
I was just coasting in gear. Bill's boost by
I was
itself.
just idling there.
Okay, ready?
The meth kit actually makes it really feel alive. Slow down. It cools the temps down big time, eh?
Yeah.
Feels a lot more powerful, a lot more consistent.
Feels really like smooth.
And it's smoother too. Little rabbit. A rabbit. Yep. Oh, it's a bird. Oh man. That was weird. It looks different through the camera screen. Yeah, the car feels a lot better with the Stage 2 clutch. And with the meth kit installed now, oh my gosh. This is making the Stage 2 tune shine.
No timing pull.
Yeah, it is
Well,
definitely.
we'll have to do some vlogs to make sure that.
Yeah. Good stuff.